Hey, what's up, everybody? Ali Taraftar back with a brand new video. Welcome to Finance Talk, July 28th of 2018. It's been a great month. July has been a very busy month for me here. I know it's been very warm in most parts of the country in the United States, and of course, especially here in Canada. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the month. Hopefully, you guys had a productive month, both in financial and personal matters. I hope you guys had some time with family. If those kids are on vacation, hope you guys had some good vacation time. And for the most part, if you're out there still traveling and have a chance to glimpse this video presentation, I appreciate that you taking your time this Saturday morning. And of course, ultimately, joining me here for a discussion. Now, the reason for today's talk, as you can see on the screen here on this presentation, is because we want to give you the emphasis on why you should learn credit repair, right? Why you should learn credit repair. Now, it's going to consist of a two-part series. The reason why this presentation is going to consist of a two-part series is because it's usually longer than the traditional finance talks that we do. It can actually go in, an hour or even an hour and a half. But I know that most of you don't have the time to commit for that. So we are going to separate this presentation into two different parts. Now, the first part is going to be today. We're going to talk about some very interesting key points, and hopefully you'll understand and realize some of the value from this presentation, and I want you to walk away with that. And secondly, it's just something that I wanted to discuss for a long time now, but I couldn't bring myself to kind of put this information together because I didn't have the time, of course, due to my busy schedule, and B, I needed to formalize it so in a way that it is easy for you to understand. It is easy for you to kind of go behind the curtain and basically reveal for yourself, the truth in this industry, the dark secrets, the things that are really, really painful for me to even witness. And of course, those individuals who are, blindly following others out there, and opening your eyes more specifically. Now, before we even get into this presentation, before we even begin, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is, if you have not subscribed to this channel, probably that's the first step, right? Be sure to subscribe, turn that bell notification on, and you'll get great content such as this and many other videos that come along with it. And right below this video, you'll see a small description about joining a VIP newsletter. Now, the reason I invite you to do that is because I am sending out emails on a daily basis. Now, whether I'm sharing some tips with you, some stories, some feedback, some tools, and potentially some resources, that's where you're going to get them. Of course, I don't always have the opportunity to sit down and do video presentations because of my schedule, but emails I can confirm, and I'm committed to sending you on a daily basis. So if you have not done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn that notification on, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to that VIP newsletter. You want to do that, and it just takes a few seconds of your time, okay? Now, with that said and out of the way, I want to begin our presentation. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to tell you something, okay? A lot of people in the industry right now, basically, they're depending on you coming in, basically engaging in their services, right? You're either paying, success fee, you're either committing some up front, you're either paying on a monthly basis. There are some companies out there, of course, that do monthly basis. Now, that's all fine and dandy, right? That's all fine and dandy. But the truth behind this presentation and why I am giving this talk today is because Best Credit Resources, as a firm, as a company here, technically speaking, right? Technically speaking, we love to help individuals with their credit. We love to give insights. We love to give strategies, educate them, as you are seeing through the consistency of our videos and the content that I create for you. But I think the most powerful thing we can ever give to someone is the gift of knowledge, is the gift of knowing how to effectively apply credit repair in your life, right? And there are three reasons I believe that's critical. The first, of course, is you get more control over the outcome you create, right? So if you're handing off your personal financial matters to somebody, regardless of their reputation or not, what happens is the control is no longer in your hands. Of course, you get the letters, you get the correspondence, but what after that, right? It's like you're playing chess and you can only see the move, and then you have to give permission for the next move to somebody else who's got control over it, right? So the biggest takeaway from learning credit repair yourself is, I believe, is the fact that you actually have more control over the outcome The second most powerful thing is because you built more financial confidence. So any given point you see something's not right in your file, you know you can make adjustments. You know you can make a phone call and basically get things squared away. You don't have to depend on anybody. You do it at your own time, at your own schedule. You pick up the phone, you go on your computer, open a Word document, and start typing away, right? So that financial confidence is very powerful. And don't forget, this alone, knowing how to fix your own personal credit, is a very unique skill set, right? And a lot of people don't have this. A lot of people don't have this. So those are, I believe, the top 3 reasons why you want to consider learning credit repair. Now, of course, with that said, there are a lot of common frustrations in the industry on its own. Whether you're learning or you're actually having somebody else do the work for you. The biggest thing is that the information that's actually distributed out there, most commonly, I'd say about 80% of the time, is very unreliable. Okay, it's very unreliable. And because of that, and because of past incidents and the present, a lot of people have a hard time trusting these so-called experts. Right? It's like a whole bunch of individuals just popping right and left, and all of a sudden they're credit repair experts and gurus, right? And God knows what kind of systems and outdated information or what kind of content they're telling you, and whether or not if they're actually reliable. And don't forget, okay, you're always being fed, in most cases, misleading information. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, right? But what I'm saying is, if you're being fed misleading information, how do you know what's going to be the outcome, right? The only way you're going to find out is if you get results back and nothing's moved, and all of a sudden you come up with a huge disappointment. You're upset, possibly miserable, because you now have to basically compromise, because you can't move into a home with terrible credit, can't get a mortgage, right? Or for example, you can't get a car. So what happens, right? So that's why it's important that you have to understand the frustrations and the reasons why I believe it's critical for you to take the next steps to really learning credit repair on your own, credit enhancement on your own. So what really do people want? And more specifically, what exactly do they need, right? What do people really want and what do they need specifically? Now, I think, the most powerful thing that you can actually have as an individual, an attempt to engage in the journey where you're going to fix your own credit, is a place where you can learn credit repair yourself from the comfort of your own home. I think that's very powerful, right? And of course, you want it to be a reasonable price, but the price alone, every time that somebody says you get what you pay for, I strongly believe in that statement. I live by it, right? But you have to also look at the strategy, not just pricing, right? It has to be effective. And more importantly, you need tools, you need the resources to follow through, and the knowledge on what to do and how to do it to be successful. Just having information is not enough. You have to implement, you have to take actions. You have to have some sort of mind map that guides you from point A to point Z, and in such a way that it's highly effective, in such a way that it's very, very streamlined. So you don't have to struggle and worry about that. Now, another problem is that a lot of people are actually afraid to commit to learn, right? And here's the reason why most are afraid to actually learn the process themselves. Number one, because they themselves will think that they're actually implementing the wrong approach towards fixing their credit. They don't know if the information is reliable. They don't know if it's up to date, and it's gut wrenching, right? A lot of people are afraid because they simply can't seem to have a control over their emotions when it comes to actually handing off money and taking control of their own, because they've never done it before. That's probably a big misconception, because I have not done it before, so I don't think I want to do it now. It's you have to go beyond that comfort zone. But unfortunately, a lot of people are still afraid of that, right? And on top of that, they're afraid to trust the wrong people with money and basically not get the outcome. So what guarantees that if you pay for something, that you'll get the outcome, especially if you have to do it on your own? Now you don't have their support, you just have the content, right? And I think that another problem is a lot of people feel that they're wasting time. And unfortunately, time is something you cannot get back. You can't recover from it. So once it's done, right? There is no turning back. And the worst part of all is, being in a situation where you actually have to compromise and live with the regret for the most part. And what I mean by regret is, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done that. Should haves all the way through. So that itself is a fear in a lot of people. They're afraid. Okay, they're afraid to commit their time to learn because of all these reasons. Now, of course, a lot of people want outcomes. They want a dream outcome. What is a dream outcome? Well, simple. They want AAA outstanding personal credit. They want confidence. They want access to large quantities of funds at very good interest rates. Who doesn't, right? They want to feel more confident with heightened respect and gratitude towards personal credit. Because if they can fix their own credit, if they can take control of their financial situation, and be confident enough to go into a financial institution, ask for credit limit increase, ask for funding at very decent rates, introductory rates at 0% at times, then they'll have a heightened respect and gratitude towards that ability, that knowledge, right? And of course, having the confidence to control, monitor, and enhance their personal credit files at any given point. That's really the dream outcome, right? But it's not all rainbows and colors, right? So I want to give you an insight into the frustrations that a lot of people go through. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want you to open up to understand the truth behind the industry, the truth behind why most people are frustrated. And I'm telling you this from experience. I'm telling you this from thousands of discussions with customers with common trends, right? Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of mass distribution of information that's ineffective. That's the first problem. A lot of people say, Ali, man, I learned this stuff, but it feels like it's outdated. I don't know if the strategy works. Of course, because it's possibly outdated, and it's probably terrible strategies that won't even turn the needle on the way that your credit is supposed to go, the direction it's supposed to go. And unfortunately, a lot of these individuals, the pedigree of these so-called experts, they're very limited to the industry itself. In fact, they're even non-existent. Why? It's because they download a template and they send it off to you, and on your behalf, actually. There are a lot of fake people out there, which is the truth. And then on another problem is they haven't been around for a long time. They don't have the commitment that they would normally have to help you, right? So due to these issues, what's happening now is a lot of people are getting mass distribution of ineffective, unreliable information, possibly outdated as well. And there's a lot of fake experts, and all they really want is your hard-earned money. And that's the truth. And most of you, unfortunately, will fork out some few dollars just to, one or two shortcuts. No, I want this trade line today. I want this today. I'm going to get this letter and send it off. It works for others. It's going to work for me. All right. But the industry itself is becoming more and more challenging. You're battling a titan, a behemoth, and you're relying on a weapon that's possibly going to break in the middle of a battlefield before you even make the first strike, and you're thinking of victory. Now, it's not easy. All right, it's not easy. And a lot of these fake experts, they don't have your best interest at heart, and that's the cold hard truth. Actually, they depend on your ignorance, truthfully, and your willingness to trust them so that they can consistently make money for themselves. Okay? So some examples of this ignorance is, oh, this trade line is going to be backdated. Let me buy that. All right, this is the new hottest thing. Let me go into this. Oh, I'm going to get myself nice, a prestigious, I don't know, some card, whatever it is, right? I'm not going to insult anybody out there. I don't believe in that kind of practice, but I'll tell you one thing, okay? Some of the things out there, if it's out of place, it does not look good. And people can tell from a mile. They can sniff it out from a mile. All right, so I'll give you an example. Now, I always like to dress to impress. When I go to business meetings, when I go and meet my investors, when I go through family office associations, when I sit down with big project owners on a discussion formally to structure a deal, I always like to dress appropriately for the occasion. Sometimes a three-piece suit, and the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. And what happens is when you feel sometimes that you're sitting down across, like-minded individuals and professionals, and you feel somebody's just underdressed and their competence is just not there, and their vernaculars in terms of the way they speak is inconsistent with the environment, in most cases that individual will be ignored, and possibly that person will feel like they're left out, possible cause of low self-esteem, and ultimately they'll never want to be coming back into that environment, although there's a lot of success for them. And all it took for them was to learn, okay, how do I belong to that environment? What do I need to be there? And what are some of the laws that allow me to engage in that environment successfully without me looking like a fool? So with that said, The same can be said for credit. The same can be said for credit. If you're not meant to get a high status card, if you're not meant to, get access to unlimited funding, if you're not meant to get access to capital in general, which is meant to be used for leverage, which is meant to be used for wealth, your finances and the situation of your financial circumstances in general will reflect that, you are completely out of place, and you will have so much pressure that you'll just give up in totality. Okay, so your ignorance on that and your trust to make them consistent money is not enough. The knowledge is the very key important element. Okay, well, unless you have that knowledge, unless you fully and wholly trust on it, and you build that confidence for yourself with a game plan, and then to see yourself at the, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, there's no way you're going to get out of that situation, right? And also, they're not taking any initiative to contribute to the industry. They're not, they're not learning any new systems and the updated laws that are coming about, and they're not sharing this information with you, right? So that's very critical. You have to look at that before engaging with someone. And I think the most important thing is, why engage in the first place if you can learn it yourself? So one of the biggest problems I see is a lot of people are actually just redesigning old content and republishing it by just simply polishing it up. And this information can be literally found for free, like, those Section 609 templates, for example. Now, most of you will say, well, Ali, I bought some and it works. Yeah, I'm going to give you a trick right now. I dare you to do it, okay? Go to Google search after this video. You have this recording. You go to Google search, open quotation, Section 609 template, close quotation, space, write file type, FILETYPE, colon, PDF, and press enter. And you're going to get thousands after thousands of PDF files of a Section 609 template. Yeah, I gave it away. I have nothing to lose, because I know for a fact that there are better strategies, more accelerated strategies, and I don't have to make money on this because I don't want to deceive you. But most will republish old content, polish it up, and make it look like it's the newest thing just because they knew how to take some courses on sales, copywriting, whatever it is, right? I'm not in that business. I'll be honest with you. I'm in the wealth management strategy business. And if I'm going to give you content and tools and resources on credit, I'm going to make sure it's reliable, it's coming from a good place. And if it's something for free that you can find, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, here it is, which I just did. Okay? So you have to be careful with these fake experts out there. Now, be careful of being fed misleading information. It's not just about the context of the templates or whatever they tell themselves to make you feel like, that's it. They actually show off, some of these people, right? They show off with a few credit cards, expect you to fall madly in love with their perception of what they believe is a solution for you. A solution for you is something that you yourself know. You know your habits and attitude better than anybody out there. No so-called experts can find that out, unless otherwise they really dig deep, take the time to get to know you, understand your needs, and recommend subscriptions of solutions that will help you long term. That's the end game, right? A lot of these individuals, they'll even go as far as cracking a few jokes to make you fall madly in love with them. The biggest disappointment is when you actually engage them to do services, right? And worst of all, they're so unwilling to give you clarity. Depends on whatever you're looking for, whether it be strategy, concepts, and quite frankly, they don't have direction themselves. They really don't. So I want you to understand something, right? The reason I gave you all this content today, the reason why I revealed all this frustrations, the emotions, the issues, and go as far as telling you, look, why it's important to learn credit repair yourself. Yeah, you can contact Best Credit Resources. My company will help you out. But I believe that it's even more powerful if you take action. Okay, it's even more powerful if you take financial control. Okay, so it's time to take control. And our journey together is going to be very prosperous. I can confirm that. I'm creating something unbelievable for you guys. Something that no other credit repair expert is willing to do. And I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to put it into a platform. I'm going to give you tools, resources, guides, scripts, so you can get on the phone contact creditors, collection agencies, credit reporting agencies, courts, right? The whole system. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do step by step so you can have the confidence that you need to take control of your financial circumstances. So again, as I mentioned, this is the first part of our video. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't forget to do that. Turn that bell notification on so next week when I reveal the content to you about what we're working on for you, you'll be blown away. Okay, so with that said, if you like what I shared today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you agree with what I said. If you have any comments, feedback, or concerns, feel free to share them below this video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is Ali Taraftar, your guide and mentor. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.